Welcome friends. Today is 16th of January 2018 and our story is about Venezuela. Venezuela's current president is called Nicolas Maduro, and a story is running on websites and social media and traditional media that is giving a little cash to pregnant women. And we emphasize the word a little because it's really little. He announced this during his annual address to the nation. He said he will be giving pregnant women 700,000 bolivars per month. The currency in Venezuela is called bolivars, the way we call ours Kenyan shillings. So this amount, it might sound like a huge amount of money, but in reality it is in the current exchange rates, it is $3.83. That is $3.83 at the current exchange rates. Once the child is born, the president, Nicolas Maduro, further promised to give the mothers 1 million bolivars. Sounds like a lot of money. 1 million bolivars is equivalent to $5.48. That is, in Kenyan shillings, that is 500 shillings. So if you are given 1 million bolivars in Venezuela, that is just 500 shillings in Kenya. So that is what the president has promised to give to pregnant mothers once they give birth. So Venezuela's economy is collapsing. This is characterized by extreme shortage of food and medicine and many other essential commodities. $1 is currently exchanging at 182,000 bolivars. Probably this is whatever is going on down there in Venezuela is equivalent to what is happening in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, the inflation is also, or was very high to an extent that they stopped using the Zimbabwe dollars and adopted the American dollars. So inflation, according to one Professor Steve Anke, a professor of applied economics at the University of Johns Hopkins, is an expert on hyperinflation. He calculated that inflation rose by 4,000% in 2017. So this is the result, or this is what is causing the high inflation. And as you know, or if you don't know, you should know that inflation is the general increase in prices. So they make inflation makes goods very expensive. It devalues the currency. You have to use a lot of money to purchase goods which you used to purchase before. So inflation has an effect on the purchasing power. Now, what's the problem behind Venezuela's inflation? What is causing this inflation? There are three major factors which have been mentioned by analysts and economists to be causing inflation in Venezuela. One is rampant corruption. Two is government mismanagement of resources. And three is unsustainable policies. Those three have been identified as the causes or factors contributing to high inflation in Venezuela. So this is we can learn a lesson from this kind of stories, especially for developing countries like Kenya and many others. We should learn that if we do not develop good policies which are sustainable, if we do not stop corruption, if we do not practice proper government management, then we would end up being in a bad situation with inflation, with general increases in prices, with a high standard of living, which cannot be sustained by anyone. So up to that point, I hope we have learned a lesson, and each one of us will push our government to make sure they come up with very good policies to avoid collapse of our economy. Thank you.